Hey friend, welcome to Self-Transformed, a podcast dedicated to transforming your health in less time and guilt-free through the power of habit hacking. I'm your host, Emily Nichols, behavior change specialist, fitness and Whole30 coach, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I know the struggle is real when it comes to taking care of you. I too am a working mom who felt physically and emotionally drained, but lacked the time and confidence to actually make myself a priority. Creating habit strategies around my health was the key to help me finally create a consistent, healthy lifestyle that doesn't feel hard. I'm now on a mission to equip you with those same sustainable habit hacks to help transform your life from the inside out, guilt-free. Together, we will simplify your health into daily habits that don't feel like another thing on your long to-do list, but rather consistent actions that add up to a massive transformation that will stick through all seasons of your life. So if you're ready to habit hack your health and create your own self-transformation, then let's do this. You're listening to episode 161 of Self-Transformed. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. I am so excited for everyone that has been joining my membership community, the Habit Hacking Society. Gang, you only have until this Sunday, the 31st of July at midnight Eastern to join us. That way, Monday the 1st, when our monthly private podcast drops, you have access to that evening, the first Monday of every month, which also happens to be the first, August 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing our monthly habit hacking planning party together. Now, these are all recorded, so if you can't join us live, that is A-okay. It'll be uploaded in your membership portal for you to have forever and always, and you get access to everything we've done before now too. So every month we have a theme. The month of August is back to school and back on track with your health. So we focused on fun self-care. We've focused on establishing and habit hacking a new habit into your life that's helping you reach your goal for the year, which we talked about in July. So with the kids going back to school, I feel like that's always a time of year where everyone's like, okay, I need to get back on track with my health and I'm on a normal schedule now, or normal-ish. So we're going to do something fun that month with some movement. I can't wait to see you in there. Make sure if you want to get an extra month free of the Habit Hacking Society, leave a review for Self-Transformed. You can do that in iTunes. You can do it right now while I'm chatting with you, unless you're driving or showering. You don't want to get your phone wet. And leave a 5-star review, screenshot your review after you write it up. Send it to me at coachemilynichols@gmail.com, or just DM me on Instagram or tag me in your stories at emilynichols22. Everything's linked in the show notes for you friends. And I will give you an additional month free. So that's either monthly or our annual membership. I made this super affordable, y'all. I feel like this is something that is needed in our lives. It's needed in our community, because a lot of the girls that do STU, my signature program, after they're done, they're like, what's next? Or maybe this is like a feeder program for you into Self-Transform You if you're not sure if that's the right fit for you yet or not, or you want some higher level coaching with me. You can do that through the Habit Hacking Society. So go to bit.ly/habit hacking society to join us. Lock in your rate now and forever, either monthly or annual. I would honestly do annual because I give you 1 month free with the annual membership, but if you leave a review and send it to me, I'll give you another month free. So like 10 months for the price, for like 12 months for the price of 10. Like, no brainer. Do it. I actually just joined my own a different membership community for myself, just to give myself that member feeling. I was talking to the girls in the society about it, and it was so great because I have kind of felt like them, like, okay, well, I'm too busy to do this or do that. Like, how can I make this membership work in my life? So it was a real eye-opener for me. It's been able to allow me to customize this membership even more, but also, you know, it gives me a point from your view, and also it allows me to remind you it doesn't have to take a lot of time. You know, this doesn't take a lot of time. We do a monthly call together. If you can't join us live, you get the recording, and then I give you action steps, a workbook you work throughout the month to help you establish those habits. So I want to share with you a quick testimonial, though, from one of the girls in the society, Michelle. She said, I loved learning more about habits and how to incorporate them into my life in a real way, not overwhelming me. Yes, like that is the goal of the Habit Hacking Society. I don't want to overwhelm you. I want it to be real. And she says, I love the community, hanging out with Emily each month. We just started doing monthly movements. The girls voted and wanted to start adding a movement every month together. So I'm doing that every month, which is super fun. And it's nice to know I'm not alone. I love that we have our own podcast, and I know you are there if we ever need anything. And I like the accountability too. I love it, Michelle. So gang, join the Habit Hacking Society. It's the best community to help you consistently stay on track with your healthy habits. I promise you won't regret it. If you've been waiting for a sign, here's your sign. Join us now before doors close, and join us August 1st, ready to go. Okay, this might be a controversial topic that we're talking about today, but I was really inspired because time is one of the biggest challenges we talk about. We talked about it last week in episode 160 with Anna from the It's About Time podcast. She gave us some really great strategies. We talked on Habit Hack Thursday about stop saying you're so busy. Oh, it's like a trigger word for me. And I wanted to continue this conversation because this is something I've been thinking about a lot, because it's something I personally feel, and sometimes I hear from girls I work with, is I'm wondering if time management strategies, like time blocking in particular, because I feel like that's a hot topic, and we're going to talk about that specifically today as one of those strategies. I'm wondering if something like time block stresses you out. Because it stresses me out. Being tied down to your calendar stresses me out. That's the reason why I'm asking you, does this stress you out too? I know I'm not the only one. And if you're like, well, I don't know what time blocking is, I need to have someone come on the show to talk about it specifically, because it is a really great tool, and it's great for someone like me where I don't like to feel tied down. I need a little bit more flexibility, but I am sharing some tips with you today so you don't feel so tied down if you are practicing time blocking. But it's a time management method that asks you to divide your day into blocks of time. So each block of time is dedicated to accomplishing a specific task or a group of tasks, and only those specific tasks. So maybe, I have a time block in the evening for, getting laundry done, getting my nightly routine, getting the kids ready for school. Or maybe there's a time block from 10 to 3 each day where I'm just working. But I need some specific tasks in order for me to stay on task. Otherwise, I will be all over the place. Because working from home and working for myself, I have no one to be accountable to except myself and you for listening to the show every week, and my clients. Otherwise, I have no accountability system. I have no one looking over my shoulder being like, Emily, come on, you got to do your stuff. So I have systems in place, but I have to leave room for flexibility and don't feel like I am super scheduled, like 10 to 10:30, I am recording a podcast. 10:30 to 11, I'm going to edit that podcast. I like the feeling of time blocking because it's flexible, but it still kind of stresses me out a little bit. So I am going to break it down for you to kind of find a place in the middle, so you don't feel tied down. You still have that flexibility if you are practicing or been wanting to practice time blocking, because it has been a game changer for me. I kind of have it outlined in my head. You can use it on a Google Calendar or a paper calendar, but I kind of have a system that works for me and my little bit of an ADHD brain and all over the place wanting that flexibility. So these are 10 tips that have helped me when it comes to time blocking, and I hope you find them useful as well, so time management doesn't stress you out so much. So number 1, leave room for flexibility. So time blocking is great, but it can be frustrating when you have too much on your calendar. So you have too much, you have this time block from like 10 to noon where you got to get 20,000 tasks done. And if you get behind, then you'll be behind on your next block where you're just answering emails, for example, and you didn't leave room for flexibility, then you feel behind all day. Like leave yourself some room, like really analyze and like schedule in breaks as well. I need to do that, especially when I have calls back to back. I kind of have it in my scheduling system where I only do podcast interviews on a certain day, but I also give myself buffer times in between calls so I'm not back to back and mentally draining myself. That way I'm able to give myself 110% to each of my clients. Number 2, have themed days or task batching. So grouping similar work items together. I personally do themed days. So Mondays and Fridays are kind of like Mondays are like self-care days for me. So I usually get up and do some type of movement for myself. In the morning, I don't get up super early because the next couple of later in the week, I'll be getting up early to coach at Orange Theory. But I coach later in the day on Mondays at a different Orange Theory location in downtown Indianapolis. And after that, I always go to Hot Works and I get some movement for myself, which y'all know I broke my tailbone 7 weeks ago. And this hot yoga has been like beautiful, like for my soul and for my tailbone. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, those are podcast recording days. Those are client calls. Fridays, I don't schedule any calls. I do not do that. I do catch up I sleep in, which is like 6:30 or 7. I catch up in the morning on what I need to get done, and the rest of the day I leave room for fun. But I kind of time block what's happening in the evenings, what those time blocks are for my work, what personal stuff like workouts and other self-care activities, and they're themed on certain days. That way I don't feel so tied down. I know what's coming up for the day, but I don't have it scheduled to the minute. Number 3, don't get too caught up in the details and spend too much time planning. Have you ever done that? Like, I know I have. I've gotten all the color-coded markers and, what do they call those pens? No, not Sharpies. I have them like right here. What are these called? You guys are going to laugh at me. The flare pens. I love those. I know teachers love those too. We got them one year for my youngest kiddo's teacher. I was like, these are the best pens ever. So I'll color code everything, and I've spent like now an hour planning, and I actually haven't gotten anything done. So don't get too caught up in the details. Just kind of have an overall plan for what you're going to be doing during that time. Number 4, get rid of the distractions. Get rid of the distractions. So turn off your notifications, put it on airplane mode. I think you can set it so like certain people can still get to you, like, you know, like if someone's got your kid or your kid needs to call you. So get it done now and then go back to what you're working on so you don't lose focus. So if there's like some type of email notification that comes up and you're like, oh, I better get this done right now before I forget, because I'm the same way. Get it done, get in and get out, right? Or be like, okay, I'm not going to, answer emails for a half an hour. They can wait, because sometimes when you start digging into that, it's a black hole of emails and you can't get out. So try not to lose focus and stay on what you're doing. But if you feel like you have to do something right then to get it done so you don't forget, which I kind of feel that way, do it and get out before you get distracted by other things. Number 5, reward yourself for completing a task. So after this podcast, I'm doing a time block right now where I am just focusing on podcast batch recording, where I'm recording a bunch of episodes at once. I'm going to reward myself with a popsicle. It sounds so silly, but there's these really yummy, like, natural strawberry popsicles that I like, and there's some from Good Pop that I like that are, like, bomb pops, but they're not full of, like, all the artificial yuckiness that I love, and I'm going to go reward myself with that because it's, like, 90 degrees out, and I'm talking a lot, and that sounds really great. So reward yourself. Doesn't have to be food. It could just be, like, I'm going to go outside, or I'm just going to sit down for 5 minutes and not, like, touch anybody or do anything. Number 6, if you're not inspired to do the work that you have time blocked for yourself, do something else. Do something else. I know I'm most inspired in the mornings for creating content for you all. Midday throughout the day, I like to record reels at that time because the lighting's really good in my workout room. I'm actually recording these later in the day. My husband's traveling and the kids were gone all day, and I actually went and got my hair done, which was such a treat. I haven't had it done since January, so I'm recording a little later than what I normally do. But if I wasn't inspired to do this right now, I wouldn't be doing it. And that's okay. Give yourself a little grace. Number 7, make sure you are blocking off personal time. Block off personal time. So not just be like, I'm blocking off this for work. I'm blocking off this for my family. Block off self-care time. Mine's usually in the morning or in afternoons on Mondays and Fridays. Number 8, the 5-minute rule. I've talked about this before. If you're just feeling like, ugh, I don't want to do this task, give yourself 5 minutes to do it. See how you feel on the other side of 5 minutes. More than likely, you'll keep doing it. Number 9, you can always habit inventory to help you create your time blocks. So I have a free download for you to do this. It's at bit.ly/habit inventory. Go download that, inventory your time, see where all that time is going, and then you can create your own time blocks based on where you are able to see that black and white data where your time is going. And then number 10, this one may surprise you. Don't do it. Don't do time blocking if it doesn't work for you. You probably hear from if you're listening to my show, I guarantee you're listening to other personal development type podcasts to help you live your best life. And I'm so proud of you for that. But if there is a tool someone is giving you in your transformation tool belt, like time blocking, and you're like, girl, this just isn't going to work for me, don't do it. If it's not working for you, don't do it, and find some other tool that works for you. Just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean it's a failure. Just that's data about yourself you learned, and you move on and you try something else. Time blocking has worked for me, but I've had to have some flexibility with it. I cannot have things scheduled. Obviously, I have like doctor's appointments, calls, and like that scheduled on my schedule, but I have it blocked out in my calendar and in my life to make it work where I still have flexibility, but I have to have these other tools in place so I don't feel so tied down, but I'm still staying productive and leaving some room for some fun. So I hope you found today's episode useful. This is a lot of the things that we talk about in the Habit Hacking Society together. Come join us before August 1st, okay? I want you in the society. I can't wait to welcome all the new girls on August 1st at our first habit hacking planning party together. Remember, if you leave a review and send me a screenshot in iTunes, please, you will get an extra month free of the Habit Hacking Society. So you get your first month free. So at least leave me a review and come join us the first month and see what you think, right? You got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. All right. So sending you a big virtual hug. If you have any questions about the Habit Hacking Society, please let me know. I am always here for you. On the podcast, in the free Facebook community, in the society, and for my girls that do Self-Transform You, my signature program. All right, friends, sending you a big virtual hug. I can't wait to see you inside of the Habit Hacking Society, and I'll catch up with you later this week for Habit Hack Thursday. Hey girl, real quick before you go, if you want some free motivation texted to you every week from me to help you habit hack your health, send me your favorite emoji to 773-904-2157 and sign up for my weekly pump up text. I can't wait to catch up with you there. Hey, and if you love the podcast, the number one way you can thank me is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way more mamas can also find the show. Then you can even email me a screenshot of your review and I'll send you either a Starbucks gift card or give you a free habit hacking call with me live on the podcast. Love and appreciate you, friend. I'll see you next time.